Gorillas are the largest extant primates. The gorilla is massive. It has a short, thick trunk and a broad chest and shoulders. Its eyes and ears are dwarfed by its large head and hairless, shiny black muzzle. Adult males can reach the height of 6 feet when standing on 2 legs and weigh close to 440 pounds. Adult females are usually smaller in size, have smaller arm spans, and can weigh close to 250 pounds. Adult males are usually referred to as silverbacks because of their distinctive silver hair that grows on their backs and hips. Although gorillas are capable of walking like bipeds on their 2 feet, they can do it only for short distances, especially while carrying food or in defensive situations. Like all great apes, gorillas have arms that are longer than their legs, so most of the time gorillas move around by knuckle walking. Gorillas are empowered with incredible strength, so when moving on all fours, they carry weight on their head and torso. Newborn gorillas are helpless at birth and weigh about 3 to 4 pounds. Their movements are as awkward as those of human infants, but their development is roughly twice as fast. From the time they're about 4 months to 2 to 3 years old, young gorillas ride on their mothers' backs as a form of transportation. A gorilla infant depends entirely on its mother that feeds, carries around, and provides protection as well as emotional support for the youngster until the age of 3. After that, the young gorilla can slowly transition to the lifestyle of an independent member of the animal group. Male gorillas usually leave their family at the age of about 11 and tend to create their own families in the next 3 to 4 years. A male begins to breed between 12 and 15 years when he is in charge of his own group. A gorilla's lifespan is normally between 35 and 40 years, although zoo gorillas may live for 50 years or more. Gorilla diets differ based on the species, but in general, gorillas mostly consume foliage such as leaves, stems, and shoots. Up to 25% of their diets can consist of fruit and aquatic herbs, as well as insects, preferably ants or termites. Since these herbivorous apes eat such nutritionally poor food, they need up to 40 pounds of foliage per day. In order to gather this amount of food, gorillas have developed incredible arm muscles that are believed to be several times stronger than those of a man. Gorillas are not big fans of the water. They usually try to avoid open water sources and usually hide from the rain. Luckily, gorillas do not have to drink water often. Their diet mainly consists of succulent vegetation that contains enough moisture and is usually covered by morning dew. Gorillas are ground-dwelling animals. Usually 5 to 30 gorillas form a close-knit social group that is led by the oldest and strongest male individual. This dominant male usually calls the shots in the group. He decides where to search for food or settle for sleep. Because the leader is responsible for protecting his family at all times, it tends to be the most aggressive. In case of danger, the dominant male will scream, grab foliage and stuff it in his mouth, stand erect on his hind legs, tear up and throw plants, drum on the chest with his hands or fists, stamp his feet, strike the ground with the palms of the hands, and gallop in a mock attack on all fours. On average, a male can keep the dominant role for several years. Other gorillas are usually shy and quiet rather than ferocious and treacherous. They usually seek no trouble unless harassed, but they will valiantly defend the family group if threatened. Although gorillas are generally quiet, they have a range of complex means of communication. They are known to emit up to 22 different sounds to get their message across to other members of the group, to teach survival skills to young, or to stay in touch while searching for food. Like some other apes, they are even capable of learning basic human sign language. There are two species of gorilla, eastern and western. Each of these is divided into two subspecies: eastern lowland, mountain, western lowland, and cross-river gorilla. These two species live in Central Africa, separated by a vast swath of rainforest. Gorillas' appearances can vary based on subspecies, but for the most part, the western subspecies tend to be brownish-gray in color, while the eastern and mountain gorillas tend to have a blackish coat. Mountain gorillas also have longer and thicker fur, which is adapted to their colder mountainous habitat. Gorillas are predominantly herbivorous apes that inhabit the tropical forests of Africa, which can boast dense vegetation and a variety of fruit. The wild population of the western lowland gorilla is the most numerous of all species. It consists of about 150,000 animals. The population of eastern lowland gorilla is significantly smaller. There are about 5,000 individuals left in the wild. Mountain gorillas are considered to be critically endangered with a total population of about 700 individuals. Cross-river gorillas, another endangered subspecies, are probably the rarest of all species. There are only 300 animals left in the wild. Several African countries have joined forces in order to pass legislation that can protect all gorillas. But females generally give birth to one baby every 4 to 6 years, so this slow population growth makes it harder for gorillas to recover from population decline. These animals also suffer from these main issues: habitat loss due to increasing human populations, deforestation and fragmentation of habitat, poaching, as well as diseases that animals can get from people. Gorillas are susceptible to various parasites and diseases, especially pneumonia during the long, cold, wet seasons. Species that live in higher elevations, like mountain gorillas, are also affected by climate change, which has the potential to impact gorillas directly by altering their habitat. Gorillas are highly intelligent. These apes have been observed to use simple tools for performing various tasks in the wild. There are a few reports of gorillas using sticks to test the depth of muddy water and to cross swampy areas. An adult female was once seen using a detached trunk from a small shrub as a stabilizer during food gathering, while another group member used a log as a bridge. Captive-born animals seem to be using tools quite well, too. Some gorillas use sticks to knock down leaves and seeds, while others have attempted to use branches as ladders. Gorillas at Prague Zoo were once seen using wood wool as slippers when walking on the snow or to cross a wet section of the floor. Apart from using vocalizations in communication and turning ordinary items into functional tools, these gorillas are capable of learning and using sign language. The gorilla Coco is proof of the intellect that many primates possess. This female gorilla was born in San Francisco Zoo in 1971, where, with the help of scientists, Coco managed to learn a library of about 1,000 signs and about 2,000 English words. Coco was smart enough to use these signs to describe even complex emotions such as joy or sorrow.